Matt here again for the Gear Shed. Going to do a quick review on this MSR Dragonfly. If you watch my other little videos on a couple of my cookers, this is Sophia 125 I did a review on, and the old Whisperlight International 600 as they used to call it. So you're thinking, God, he's got a lot of cookers, isn't it? There's half of it, unfortunately I've got a shed load of them. This one here, so why did I buy this one? This is a fairly new stove, I've only used it a couple of times. Bought it second hand. There was basically nothing wrong with it, it's hardly even been used. It had a broken end off the pump, which I just replaced the pump. You can actually get spare parts of the whole thing, so I just got a new pump assembly, pop in there. The reason why I did that is this guy here, the old 600, had a busted pump that was falling apart, all the plastic had fallen off it, and all the it was just not serviceable bore. So I thought, looked at the cost of a pump, thought, I can get one of these, which I did for a good price, second hand. As I said, hardly been used. And then I thought, well, then it's a shame, because then I've got this guy that doesn't work, and unfortunately the pump on this one is not compatible with that one. So I managed to find a cheap brand new pump to go in there, so they've got two now, so hence bugger, got two of them. So why this one? Newer technology. Well, yeah, it's just a newer design of stove. This one here also simmers. The Dragonfly does simmer a lot easier than this guy, mainly because this has one valve stuck at the bottle, so you've got all that time delay for waiting for the fuel to come through to the cooker itself. Whereas this guy here, it's got a valve at the fuel bottle, and then it's got a fine tuning valve here that allows you to fine tune the flame, so you can turn it to simmer. So then this is controlling it over such a short distance, you get a fine tune out of it. So we should get this guy up and running. I've just lit this, so it might still be a bit warm. This pump here, if you compare these two pumps together, on the outside they look about the same, apart from that one's grey and this one's red. This one here has like a non-return valve on it. So when you push this slot in, it pushes a little nib down inside and allows the fuel to flow. So if you pull it out, it stops. So that isn't compatible with that, and this is also a bigger, thicker fuel line. So the end of it's bigger than this one, so that's why they won't be compatible, which is a bit of a shame, but it's what happens. So what you do, full fuel tank in here. Again, but this particular one runs on white fuel, white gas, so Coleman fuel, unleaded petrol. I think it also does diesel and kerosene as well. So it's kind of a white universal beast. So you put your fuel in there. I just usually run it on what we call white spirits in New Zealand, which is Coleman fuel, because it's a cleaner burning fuel. It's a bit more expensive, but you don't get any sort of additives and stuff in it that clog your fuel lines up, and it's pretty clean burning. So you put your 20 pumps there on the full tank, turn this guy on, and then with this it's only a few turns. That's off, a few turns on. It's just basically to let the fuel through. This guy here, because it's the main fuel valve, you've got to turn it and turn it and turn it and turn it, so it's like about 20 turns or something like that. All your controls done from this little guy here, which does flick over. So what we're going to do, same as we do with the other ones, turn this on, dribbles a bit of fuel into there, into the top of the cup, turn on the poor old Chinese, there we go, gas burner, butane beast. It's good when it's warm, but not so good today. Now the problem that people have with these things is when they light them, they do this. Oh, it's going, let's turn it on. Oh, it's a flare up. Oh, it's a flare up. You've got to wait until it starts to be hot enough. And this one, see, you get that orange flame, it's too cold. Okay, you can persevere with like this, it'll chug along and make big freaking blah 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 blah. Okay, scare your tent mates out with it. Okay, and then should pop and go. Okay, so that's how not to light it. What you want to do is let that fuel nearly go out, and then it should be having this flame. Now this is renowned to be quite loud, mainly because it's a plate burner, so it has that steel plate on top, much like the Severe 123R that we had. So that's doing the mixing of the fuel and the air together to make it burn. So it's sucking air through the little holes in the bell, so it does make a lot of chugging noises. People complain this is too loud. Let's turn her up. does sound like an engine. Reminds me of the old XGK cookers. They had the same nozzle burner arrangement. My mate had one of those, and I don't reckon it's that loud. I think it's quite a comforting feeling if you're in a snow cave or something like that. Have that guy going. It feels really good. But as you can hear, as I turn it down, very good simmer control. All the way up. Get close to see. I'll get close like that. You hear it? Turning it down. You can get a burner head to go in here that makes it silent, but the problem with that is that it's so bloody expensive. It's about what I spent on the whole cooker itself, so I'm not really bothered about the noise. Right, turn it way down. So, yeah, it's a good little beast. The next one up for this is the XGK 2 or 3 now that they've got, which is the same kind of burner arrangement. It just has a different set of legs. These all kind of flick around and fold into themselves, and then this folds up with that. It's quite bulky compared to this guy here. This one here does pack down quite small because all these legs all fold around to the side, and then this unplugs and you just wrap it around the burner, so it's quite compact. It's not a big beast. This more sort of bulky, and this sticky outy valve piece doesn't fold down, and so it's a little bit bigger. But you know, you're looking at, when you're taking these things, you're probably going to be taking your snowshoes and your winter tent and your winter sleeping bag, so everything, bulk's all going to start to creep up anyway, so it's not really a deal killer for me. I haven't got much fuel on this beast. Compared to this guy over here, I've carried that all around the world, so bugger it. I mean, this is actually a little bit lighter than the 600. Turn her up. Let's turn her off. There we go. So there. And the other trick with this too is if you're really careful, let's turn this on. If you don't let it turn the old blowtorch on. If you don't let it cool down too much, you can, if you're really crafty, get it to relight like that. If you let it go for too long, you will have to preheat it again, which is the only downside. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to preheat it, but you get good at it after a while. Fold the old handle back. Alrighty. So yeah, so far so good. I have to get it out and give it a bit of beating. You know, 20 odd years. Might be dead before I get 20 odd years out of this. But yeah, we're good. Yeah, a little bit more technology. Like the idea that it simmers. That's kind of why I went to it. It's the simmering side of it. The thing to bear in mind with these sort of things, they're really designed for cooking for lots of people. It's not a one-man band. Like, you're cooking for 3 or 4 people, this is the way to go. Bigger pots, melting snow, doing complicated types of cooking. If you're a bit of a backcountry chef, then this is the way to go, because you've got a lot more heating power and cooking power on it. It's not really designed to do ball in the bag meals. You know, you'll see a lot of these meths cookers and gas cookers. That's what they're really designed for nowadays. It's just people boil the water and throw it into their freeze dry, or they do their ball in the bag. These ones really more, if you want to do some frying, you want to get some bacon going on, that kind of stuff, making omelettes. Also, you know, if you can find the cooking kits, you can bake on these and all sorts of carry on. So big, dependable. As I said with the 600, if you watch the International, keep calling it 600 because back in the day that's what it was called. It was a International 600 stove. Same with this one. Maintenance, people. Maintenance. Check your valves. Plug it in. Pump it up before you light it. Check for leaks. That's just going to save you a whole world of pain. Every year I go through and change all the O-rings on these. Better safe than sorry. The kit's only 11 quid or something like that. You do the same on your car. You take it out and you take it for a test drive. Take it for a service. This is what you need to do, and this is why people have all sorts of issues with these stoves, is they don't maintain them. Put good fuel through them, maintain them, keep them clean. Same with this, design with this International as with the Dragonfly. It's got a weighted jet cleaner in the bottom, so you just take it up and give it a shake, and that will clean the jet. If you're using quite crappy fuel, if you're using unleaded fuel or something like that, then you would want to do that possibly every time you use it. So just take it out and give it a shake anyway. The other great things with these is they come with, oh come out you mongrel, windshields. They are a bit of a MS wonder, these things. A lot of people find them a waste of time. You usually lose the bits. Comes with like a bottom plate, and this is interesting because when I bought the pump I got the windshield for it, so go figure. So the new design, in the old days it used to have a when I had the Whisper Light, it used to have a round thing with this with a slit in it. You used to slide it through so it would sit underneath around the legs. Now you just get an aluminium piece. I probably wouldn't even bother taking that. It's a bit of a waste of time, I think. Stick that down like that, and then it comes with a long windshield that goes around your stove to increase the efficiency. The beauty of these, I think, too, is that you've got, I'm giving you a bloody... The beauty of these goes around like that. It's a really bad rendition. There you go. The beauty of these is you can get all the spare parts. I mean, this pump is still compatible with a 20-year-old stove. All the parts are still compatible. You can get all sorts of accessories. They do a stove base, a fold-up Trillium stove base, which will fit this stove and this stove. They do a heat exchanger that goes around your pot as well. And I've actually got MSR pots, the Alpine version pots, that are actually designed to use with their stoves as well. And that's probably another thing you've got to realise. These things put out shed loads of heat. So your little budget aluminium pot is going to struggle. You need to look at getting decent. I use stainless steel pots, and here people go, oh my god, they're heavy. Yes, but your food doesn't get stuck to the bottom every 5 seconds, and it just the amount of heat that comes off these things, it just gives you poor old aluminium pots a battering. If you get too light a stainless steel pot as well, it will buckle the pot. The pot will just go boom, like if you've got a cheap frying pan or something like that, it will just turn that thing into a taco shape pretty quickly. So bear that in mind. They do put out shed loads of heat. Definitely the way forward if you're going to be mounting snow and things like that. So hence you'll see them in the alpine environment. Alright, so hopefully that gives you some ideas. If you've got any comments or questions you want to ask, whack them in the comments box. I'll be going up to Snowdon after Christmas. I've got a couple of new things to try out. One of the big ones is I've bought a Hex Peak V6E, which is the winter teepee tent from Lux Outdoors, which I'm going to use for my winter shelter. So I'm going to take that up there, and probably take this guy up here as well to show you. So stay in touch. Remember to subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Cheers, and see you later.